So are they really just hypocrites? Are they lying to you? Are they misleading you on purpose so that you don't get to their level? Are they hiding the truth from you, protecting their own secrets so that you don't become wealthy? In this video, Iman Gadzi is going to explain what you need to do as a broke student if you want to get rich. So we are going to analyze in depth his advice and see, is he right, is he wrong, is he misleading young students looking to make more money? That's what we're about to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'm going to reveal to you the surefire, guaranteed way to make your first million in the next 5 to 10 years if right now you're a broke student.
Now, one thing I would like to say is that there is no sure guaranteed way to make your first $1 million because life is very uncertain. And I can guarantee that if you asked Jeff Bezos, did you think that you would become a billionaire? He would say, honestly, no. Life blew my expectations out of the water. And how do I know he would say that to begin with? Because that's exactly what he said at some point in one of his interviews. However, while there is no guarantee to make $1 million, there are many paths that can lead you to making that kind of money. And there are also many more paths, many more ventures that will never allow you to make even 6 figures a year. Like if you wanted to make 7 figures a year, with most careers, it is impossible to do so. However, with an online business, technically speaking, there are no limits. You could make $1 million, but there are so many variables to take into consideration that quite frankly, nobody can guarantee that sort of outcome. Because there is simply a part of life that we don't control. Life is very unexpected. And at the end of the day, if you have a goal, let's say you want to become a millionaire, do you really care how you reach that goal? As long as you do reach it. A lot of people say that, oh, it's not the destination that matters. It's all about the journey. In my opinion, that's a whole bunch of BS, because people wouldn't get started on the journey to begin with if the destination wasn't appealing. So while there are no guarantees technically speaking, there are better ways than others to reach the 7 figures a year mark.
This is genuinely 99% guaranteed to make you rich if you watch the entire video and really take in what I'm trying to tell you here.
I don't know what you think, but sounds a bit convenient, doesn't it?
And listen, I'm coming up to my 10th year as an entrepreneur. I have seen everything, and I have over a dozen companies that I personally own or my holding company has equity stakes in.
Now, when you're a beginner, I don't recommend that you try to start multiple business ventures all at the same time. And fair enough, sometimes you're going to see popular business influencers or popular business people. They're going to say that, oh, you shouldn't start multiple companies at the same time. You need to pick one thing and focus on that one thing until you be successful at it. But then you look at them and they've got like 5 companies. So are they really just hypocrites? Are they lying to you? Are they misleading you on purpose so that you don't get to their level? Are they hiding the truth from you, protecting their own secrets so that you don't become wealthy? In reality, it's simply that what gets you to $5,000 a month, it's not the same thing that is going to get you to $1 million a month. You have to understand that it's kind of like in a video game. There are different levels that you need to play at. And it would be foolish to think that you can get to level 100 without even going to level 2. You need to go to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get my point. So it's possible to have multiple companies at the same time, and they can all be extremely successful and extremely profitable. However, when you are a beginner, you need to focus on one thing only, because you only have so much time, so much energy, and so many resources that you can allocate to these different business ventures. The only reason why those business people that you see, or those influencers, they are able to have multiple companies at the same time, while all of them are profitable and generating a lot of revenue, it's because they hired other people, because they delegated, they created systems, processes to make sure that their businesses are running even when they're not actively working on them. Now, don't confuse this with passive income, because in reality, there is no such thing as passive income. You're always going to have to put some level of work to grow your income.
Now listen, times have changed and the world is extremely different to what it was like 100 years ago. That said, some business principles are timeless.
One thing is sure is that if you wanted to get rich in 1923 compared to in 2023, if you were from a low-income family, you can bet that it was almost impossible to get wealthy. The average millionaire is 57 years old. However, with the rise of the internet and of social media, people have been becoming millionaires in their 20s and even in their 30s, and that's a phenomenon that we have seen happen massively in the last decades or so. So if you wanted to start a business back then, if your parents were poor, you were pretty much screwed, because you would have needed so much money to buy some factories, to buy some land, to hire some employees, whereas nowadays you can start your own online business for less than the price of a meal. All you need is a steady internet connection, a laptop, but what matters most is that you have the right knowledge and the determination to work hard every single day until you get what you want. Most people are completely unaware of the incredible opportunity that online businesses is bringing to the table.
Now, 100 years ago, if you wanted to get rich quickly, and by the way, when I say quick, most people think quick means 2 months or 5 months. I'm talking quick in the normal world is, hey, I made the intention that I am going to go from nothing to something, go from having average income to becoming a millionaire. Quick is 5 to 10 years. It's not 5 to 10 months. Normally 100 years ago, even right now, if you want to become a millionaire, from the point at which you get your degree, it'll take you 20, 30 years.
And that actually depends on which career you follow, because not every career path can even allow you the possibility to become a millionaire. And I would go as far as saying that most career paths, they will never make you a millionaire no matter how hard you work. And yes, technically speaking, if you live in New York, in the United States, you could make $1 million a year and be a lawyer, a doctor. However, what if you live in a small city in Germany? Could you make that same income? Probably not. That's one of the biggest problems with traditional careers. They're usually tied down to one single geographical location. This means that opportunities are very reduced. With the internet, however, you can reach billions of people from all over the world within just a few clicks. I mean, if you publish a video just like this one on YouTube, anyone from anywhere in the world, as long as they have internet and access to YouTube, they could potentially see your video. And that's exactly why online businesses give you a gigantic amount of leverage compared to traditional careers. And to get rich, one of the most fundamental things that you need is leverage. We only have 24 hours in a day. We're all in the same boat when it comes to that. And quite frankly, you cannot do everything yourself. Look at anybody who is very successful. And I'm not even just speaking about the millionaires, the billionaires, the business people. Just take a look at literally any successful person. They all have somebody by their side helping them. They have coaches, they've got employees, people doing the work for them. Just take a look at Michael Jordan. Tim Grover was one of the pillars of his success.
So trust me, when I say 5 to 10 years, that is a good timeline. Now, I say 5 to 10, but it'll probably be a lot quicker for you.
I personally genuinely believe that if you start your own online business and you truly work hard, you could become a millionaire in less than 5 years. However, can everybody do it? I don't think that's actually the case. There is a reason why the top 1% is called the top 1%. Quite frankly, most people are simply not willing to roll up their sleeves and to put in the necessary work to get to the top. And it's not gonna be easy. I mean, you need to realize that you are trying to achieve the extraordinary. Going from broke to millionaire, it is a very difficult transformation to achieve, and most people, they will fail along the way. However, let's not focus on other people here. Focus on you, because at the end of the day, you live your own life. You experience life through your own point of view, through your own eyes. So the question isn't, is it possible for everyone? Rather, the question is, are you willing to do whatever the hell it takes to get to that goal?
100 years ago, the way you would do it is you would either be an employee at a fast-growing company and bring so much value to the company that they just can't help themselves but pay you more. Now, obviously, you need to continue to make your value known and renegotiate with your company and just say, hey, I know what I'm bringing to the table, so make sure that I'm getting paid adequately.
That might be true, but at the same time, like I said, yes, if you're a lawyer, a doctor in the United States, you could end up making $1 million a year. However, this could only ever be possible after decades of slave-like hours, of gruesome work, of missing out on your friends, on your family, and of making so many sacrifices for, at the end of the day, not being sure that you will even get to that level.
So that's the first route, but that's not really what I want to talk about here today. The second route is you work inside of a fast-growing company, a company where you can learn a lot. And you work in that company for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And then you take everything that you've learned and you go and you start your own business in a similar industry, and from there you add in hard work and you absolutely take off.
Many successful people have followed that exact path. Jeff Bezos had a good job, but in the end, he decided to quit it to start building his dream, building his vision, which was Amazon.com. They started by simply selling books, so they were just a little online bookstore, and at the time, they were competing with the giants of the industry. They were nobodies, but then they started to see rapid growth. Customers loved what they were offering, and so as time went by, Amazon started to grow, and they were able to expand into other categories of products. And now you can go on Amazon today and you can find pretty much anything. But everything that is big today, most likely it started as something small. They didn't start by selling literally everything. They focused on one single thing. They were selling books online, and slowly they expanded. And that is exactly the strategy that you need to follow to get to the top. If you try to do too many things at once, you will only waste your time and all of your energy. You cannot be good at 10,000 different things all at the same time. And this is exactly where school is misleading. You have to be good at mathematics, at English, you have to be good at science, you have to be good at sports and at this and at that. However, in the real world, we invented the concept of careers for a reason, because we cannot be good at everything at the same time. You have some strengths that other people don't have, and vice versa. If you want to experience a true life of freedom and of abundance, you need to be able to control as many variables as possible. And that is why, in my opinion, being an employee, if that is your goal, to have massive freedom and abundance, it's not your best option, because you're very limited when it comes to how many variables you can control. However, when you start your own business, then the sky becomes the limit. And even then, quite honestly, honestly, I don't think there is even a limit, because now you control every single factor. Yes, technically speaking, you don't control the market, but you control your approach. You control what you have to offer to people. If the market doesn't like what you have to offer, you can switch your approach. You can pivot and ask the market what it wants and simply provide it to them. What is going to make you far richer than anything else is to solve people's problems. That's all entrepreneurship is about. If you start a business, you are literally going to solve people's problems. When you call the plumber, it's because you have a problem. When you buy some food at the grocery store, it's because you have a problem. You're hungry. When people go to school, it's because they want to fix a problem. They're not making money, they don't have a career, and they need one.
Now, as I said, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, this would have been the path. The path would have always started with you working at a company or at an organization and understanding that in your early years, you need to prioritize learning over earning. Earning can come a little later, but in your early years, I'm talking specifically here as a student, as a teenager, someone in your early 20s, learning should always be the priority.
And even then, you should be learning all of your life. When people get out of university, a lot of the time, they think they're done learning. The learning curve is over. Here's a wake-up call for you. The learning curve is never over. And that is especially true if you intend to get to the top, if you intend to become massively successful. Why? Because you always need to stay ahead of trends. If you want to beat your competition, you have to know what's going on in your market. You need to keep yourself informed. You need to try out different things and see what works best. If you want to be at the top of your field, you would need to innovate. But it is true that when you are young, in your 20s, you typically have a lot more time than if you had a family, you're in your 40s, you've got many more responsibilities, so you have a lot of time to learn. And the more you learn, the more you earn. I completely agree with this quote. However, there is something that not too many people talk about when it comes to this. They only tell you one part of the equation, which is the learning part. But then another part is missing. And if you don't have that part, you'll never go anywhere in life. And that is massive execution. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but it is completely useless if you don't apply it. If your goal is to get rich, and you might know how to start a business, but you never actually start a business, what is the point? If you're not going to apply what you learn, put down the book, close down the laptop, because there is literally no point.
I want to explain really what I'm seeing right now in society and why that is keeping you poor, that's keeping you dumb, and it's keeping you stuck. You see, the issue is in modern society, everyone is in such a rush to become a millionaire. And the reason they're in such a rush is because of the things that they think it will give them. And by the way, I'm specifically speaking to the teenagers and the students here. You've got kids who are 16 who are in such a rush to become a millionaire because I know exactly what they're thinking. They're thinking, hey, once I'm a millionaire, I'm going to get all the girls, or people are going to be impressed and I'm going to be able to buy these things. And I'm going to talk to you very frankly as someone who made their first $1 million in cash in the bank at the age of 18. I'm going to tell you this right here, right now. When you make money at an early age, and I'm not talking early like 25 or 27, 28, because that's still earlier, or maybe even 23 or 24. I'm talking early as in 18, 21. No one is impressed. They just think you are a lucky kid.
That's true. I mean, honestly, if you look at somebody, they're a teenager or they're in their 20s and they post fancy stuff on their Instagram, nice cars, nice restaurants, impressive vacations, what are most people automatically going to assume? That they're simply a lucky rich kid. That is their daddy's money. That they didn't have to work hard to earn it. And fair enough, for a lot of them, it's going to be the case. But there's also lots of hardworking people who made it all on their own. Now, of course, the topic of being self-made, it can be debatable because we all have one unfair advantage. Somebody might be smarter than another. Somebody might start off richer than another. So at this point, before even asking the question, is somebody self-made? We need to really define what it even means to be self-made to begin with. But it's true that lots of young people, they think that if they get out of a supercar, everyone is going to be impressed and people will respect them and love them more. And lots of people, honestly, they just want to be loved by others. And you'd be surprised because this is actually one of the most fundamental reasons why people start businesses, why people want to make more money. It's because deep down, they just want to be loved. When you look at any advertisement, it always comes down to the need for love. When they sell you social status in an ad for Ferrari, they're selling you the need to feel accepted and loved.
18 or 19 or 20 by some lucky crypto pick. You know, they put $1,000 into one shitcoin and then it turned into $1 million. Let me tell you something, that will ruin your life forever. Because first of all, making a good amount of money at a young age is already a massive challenge. What's even worse is if you got lucky. And let's call it what it is. That is luck.
Now, a lot of people may wonder, why? Why would it be horrible to get lucky and at a young age you start to make a lot of money? Or maybe you invest into some crypto coin and boom, your investment is growing to crazy heights and now you became a millionaire. 70% of lottery winners, they lose everything within just a couple of years. And 78% of pro athletes, they lose everything, they go broke within just a few years of retirement. 3 years in fact. So let's be honest, if you gave most teenagers $1 million, most of them would blow it on stupid stuff and they would lose lose everything within like a couple months. I get it, the temptation is there, you want to drive the nice cars, you want to go on fancy vacations, you want to enjoy yourself, and you're right. However, you need to make sure that you do things right. Getting lucky too fast, it can actually ruin your life. Now, there is a difference between getting lucky out of nowhere, like you invested in some crypto, NFT coin or whatever, and you got lucky, you made a lot of money, you became an overnight millionaire in a way, and that is very different compared to actually putting in the hard work for years on end and then being successful at it. So that luck, that success, it only happened because of all of the work that you put in. It was simply preparation, meeting opportunity. Starting a business has truly changed my life, and it is exactly what has allowed me to build this kind of life for myself. Now, can I guarantee that you will get that same success if you follow on the same path? Not necessarily. It really depends on whether or not you're willing to make the necessary sacrifices, to roll up your sleeves and to do the work day in day out for maybe a couple years to then get to the level that you want to get to. That said, if you want to start your own online business, you don't know where to start, you have no clue what to do, I have recorded a free video in which I analyze every popular online business model. Together, we take a look at the pros, at the cons, and I am also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can use to start signing your first customers. The link to the free video is in the description below. And with that said, as always, I wish you the best and I am waiting for you on the other side.